To discuss the earnings and the outlook for FY25, we have with us Anish Bansal, the CEO of the company. Mr. Bansal, good morning. Thank you so much for joining in. Well, can you give us a sense of what led to this EBITDA increase? Was there any inventory loss that you saw? Because the peers in the industry did see that. So give us details of that.
Both of you. Thanks for the results. I think the company did exceedingly well given the circumstances, overall monsoon and the global steel prices. We could have some good orders especially from the renewable energy side in Q2, and that really helped us in meeting this challenges of Q2. And with our new facility in Sanand, where we are producing all sort of high technology products there, and I think that is giving a good tailwind to overall company. And going forward, I think we will have certainly a very good set of numbers.
But Anish, was there an inventory loss in Q2?
So, we got a support from the steel mills in terms of, rebates. So that was one. Second was, the fixed price orders that we had, that was quite sizable. The company had a big order from the renewable energy side, and that helped us mitigating the inventory losses.
So there was zero inventory loss, or was it set off because of these new orders that you're talking about?
Yes, there was, but then that got compensated by, the...
How much was that? Yeah, that's what we wanted to understand. How much was the inventory loss this quarter?
So 600 to 700 rupees per ton, but that was mitigated.
Okay. Got that. So do you think margins at 6.1% roughly are sustainable? And even for the full year on volumes, are you on track to maintain your guidance of 0.5 million tons?
Yes, absolutely. If you see in H1, we have already done approximately 2.5 lakh tons of sales volume, and H2 is generally, good for the entire sector. And I think, we are on track of achieving 500,000 tons for sure.
Okay. And what about EBITDA per ton? You had spoken to us about 3,800 rupees per ton would be the EBITDA per ton this year. Are you on track to achieve that? And considering that Q2 has been better than what the street was working with as well, will you be able to surpass that figure?
So 3,500 was, we have done in H1 approximately, and H2 is, generally higher for us. And with the new capacities and new value-added products that are coming up, we are on track of achieving 3,800 rupees per ton on a blended level for the full financial year.
Is there a possibility you will be able to exceed that, considering the new fixed price orders?
Let's hope for the best, but then, there are still like a lot of volatilities there. So I'll stick to our previous guidance, and whatever, we do better will be, a bonus.
Okay. But H2 is typically better than H1. So therefore, you should be able to exceed your guidance, not just meet it on the volumes, right?
Yes, absolutely. But then, there are volatilities, but, we are keeping our fingers crossed. So, I think...
What about exports? What percentage of your revenues in the current quarter were exports? Are you seeing any sort of a slowdown there? And what can you guide for the second half of the year in terms of exports?
So currently our focus is on the domestic market because, the maximum tailwind is coming from the domestic side. And our focus currently is on the domestic market. And I think going forward also, for next 1.5 years, our focus and the capacities that are coming up will be focused to meet the domestic demand first. And exports, there is a certain, uncertainty over there. The logistic costs are, are volatile. So I think exports should happen in next 1.5 years from
So currently exports around 10 to 15%. Will it come down because you're focusing more on the domestic markets?
So currently we are under 5%. I think it should be in that territory only.
Okay. You spoke about how value-added products could aid margins going forward. How do you see your sales mix change towards value-added products in the second half? What is it currently? Because the last time you said it was around 37%. By when does it move to that 50% mark?
So our target is to, take it to 50%. And I think that will take about a year and a half or so. The new capacities that are coming up are focused mainly towards the value-added products. Which includes galvanized products, solar torque tubes, and certain special SKUs which are direct import substitution. So once this happens, I'm sure, the total blended VAPS share will be 50% up. And I think it should take 1.5 years from now.
So by FY27 end, right? It should be 50%.
Absolutely. Yes.
So for the value-added products, what is the EBITDA per ton? And by FY27 end, what will the EBITDA per ton of the company look like?
So currently, the value-added products are fetching us a EBITDA per ton of around 5,000 rupees per ton. And if we if we go forward with the new facilities and with the higher scale of operations, I think blended EBITDA per ton can reach 5,000 rupees per ton in next 2 years.
Okay. Let's talk about the QIP. You raised around 500 crore rupees via QIP. What will the impact on finance costs be? Currently, it's around 13 to 14 crores per quarter. How much does it come down by? By when are you using those proceeds?
So currently, we have utilized around 250 crores for debt repayment, and I think that will directly give impact on the interest cost reduction. And but the company, as you know, the company has embarked on a mission to reach 2 million ton capacity in next 2.5 to 3 years. So once this is done, in the long term, the interest cost will remain. There will be no incremental working capital or incremental debt. But currently, in this at the end of this financial year, will be net debt free, and there will be certainly a interest cost saving for FY25.
Okay, FY25 net debt free. Thank you very much, Mr. Bansal, for joining in. We'll slip into a very short break. We'll come back and talk commodities. Manisha Gupta joins in as always.